Well, the time is just gone 4:46 p.m. this afternoon on the first day of Ramadan, right here in Johannesburg. This is the Iftar Drive. I am United Wadi with you right until the time of Iftar in Johannesburg at around a quarter past six this evening. But we are discussing a number of issues throughout the Iftar Drive and also taking a look at some of the developments in local political circles. And the latest we've learned about the ANC in a bid to attract more white voters and also looking at Indians and coloureds as part of its strategy to regain the two-third majority it's what it once enjoyed. And this is quite an interesting development considering that the ANC at this point in time has been on a downward trajectory and just how realistic is the two-third majority at this point in time, even by drawing in what is called as a traditional Indian coloured and the white votes. And this is the reason why we've got Faik Jacobs and Dr. Levi Dow, who is a political analyst. Faik Jacobs is the Member of Parliament for the ANC and he hails from the Western Cape. Faik, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and Ramadan Kareem to you and welcome.
Hi, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Greetings to all the listeners of Salam Media, and thanks for having us.
Yes, and also Dr. Levi Dow, as always, we welcome you to the show and absolute pleasure having you as well.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to the listeners. Thank you for having us today.
Yes, now, Faik, I'd just like to start off with you and looking at the ANC. And we know this has been happening. This is the fact that the ANC has been losing support right across the board. And, sometimes I don't like to put it to a race thing, but unfortunately, this is how it is in South Africa, looking at the white Indian and colored vote, but also to a large extent the black vote. And there are many that are predicting that the ANC's majority, even the 50%, is going to be a threat. And we about just around a year to go for the elections. And I'm sure the ANC is sitting back thinking, looking at strategically where the organization is and where it would like to be comes the elections in 2024.
Okay, so we had a caucus with all our parliamentarians, and the president led that caucus this weekend. And he was raising the issue that we need to make the ANC a broad home for all South Africans, and it must be reflected in that. So the ANC has always had that position since its fight against anti-apartheid. I think what we've seen in the last few years, Cyril's government, was that there was a lot of mobilization based on ethnicity, based on race, based on tribalism, and they want to move away from that. The ANC during this period created a big middle class. A lot of the kids benefited from NSFAS. A whole generation of middle class was created, and across the board, African colored, whites, Indians. So we want to attract people back. We want professionals back. We want middle class back. We want our faith-based communities back into the ANC. So there's going to be a broad membership and recruitment drive that the ANC is leading. It's also part of our intention to attract quality, capable, committed people into the organization so that they can lead their local communities and raise the concerns that they have from their constituency, whether it's a Muslim constituency, whether it's the Portuguese community, whether it's whatever different sectors. South Africa has been divided based on ethnicity and race. And we see this phenomenon creeping in our politics. The them and us, the fear, the swart gevaar is very evident here in the Western Cape. So privilege or white privilege is still being maintained here in the Western Cape. And religion and othering is still being used to keep our people separate. So what we are asking is that this new constitution enjoys us all as part of Mandela's agenda to be a rainbow nation, but at the same time also deal with the economic realities that race provides, that the poor in our country is largely
Yes,
black.
Can I just stop you there for a minute, please? I just want to bring Dr. Levy Ndo into the discussion. Dr. Ndo, and just listening to what Faik Jacobs is saying, obviously, there is an issue with regard to the broad church, for want of a better term, looking at race and a number of issues that always seem to crop up when we're having these discussions. But the key issue here for the ANC is it about being inclusive of all the groupings around the country? Or is the ANC at this point in time seeing itself as being threatened, with the loss of a majority support as a result of governance, as a result of poor accountability, and just pure performance, Dr. Levendal?
Well, I think the drop in the support of the ANC is something that has to worry the ANC very much. And the ANC, in its strategy in the past, would actually concentrate on certain constituencies and to a certain extent identify areas where they will say, we are not even going to campaign because we know that we might not get any support from those areas. But at the same time, you have the ANC that always had that inclusive posture. The ANC that says the ANC as the party belongs to all South Africans, and that's to recruit across race, ethnicity, and everything else, but recruit all South Africans. At the same time, the ANC should be worried about the main reasons why they've been losing support. My view is that even though the ANC would develop an approach to go everywhere and recruit members and build a stronger and a mass-based political party, the ANC should do that whilst they're also doing an inward looking. The critical question, in my view, to ask would be, what are the reasons why the ANC has been losing support? And these are the issues that ANC leaders and members broadly would know and agree that the ANC, if they still want to get the broader support and even get a two-thirds majority, might be a very easy thing to do. Firstly, the ANC is in power, and the ANC should reflect deeply on these many issues that is making citizens not to associate with the ANC anymore. There are many, but there are main issues that I think I can be able to identify. The ANC that is soft on corruption is the ANC that people will not want to associate with. The ANC that will continuously defend people within its ranks who are associated with wrongdoing, obviously the people will reject that ANC. The ANC that will continue to put in government people that are compromised and people who are not going to prioritize service delivery and focus on other things, people will get worried with the ANC that does that. But at the same time, you need also the ANC that is able to go back and still reassociate with the people and speak the language of the people. And I want to see the ANC leaders who will constantly be found with the people, dealing with the issues that are affecting the people on the ground. And nobody would be worried when the ANC still want to reconnect with the middle class, the ANC wanting to reconnect with people from different races. Just a few days ago, the Minister of Education was saying that he still has to deal with issues of students that are classified as those that are in the missing link bracket. That is the ANC that will be dealing with those issues. You don't need the ANC that will have the majority of young people in South Africa frustrated in higher education, frustrated that they're not getting jobs, and many other challenges facing young people. You need the ANC to be at the forefront. And my view is that these are the kind of discussions that the ANC is supposed to have and develop a proper approach to deal with such.
Well, certainly, Dr. Ndo, and also just to bring Faik Jacobs back into the discussion, and the ANC obviously targeting certain numbers, looking at 40% from black voters and another 20% from the other groupings to give it to that around that 60%. And it's easy to put numbers on paper, but the key issue also is just looking at the other groupings and how they see the ANC at this point in time. What can the ANC do besides just saying that it is an all-inclusive party to appeal to people, to appeal to new membership, to appeal to people from the other groupings to join the ANC, Faik?
No, it's as if the doctor was at the session, because all the issues you raised were the issues that we did deal with. The issue of reflection, introspection, the issues of hard against corruption, the issues of grounding ourselves with the issues of our communities, the issues of serving and solving our people's problems, and that people's contract were issues that was raised in the Lekgotla. So this, on the 10th of April, will be the 30th anniversary of our beloved Krisani that was assassinated. So we are going to launch our campaign of listening assemblies, people's assemblies, accelerated service delivery, going back to our communities and grounding all our structures there. But I think there's also a realization in the ANC that we must admit that we've made lots of mistakes. The issues of self-entitlement, the issues of self-enrichment, nepotism, all of those things have crept in, and we are correcting. Part of our commitment now is to get credible, capable, committed leadership and branches in all our communities. The ANC is attempting to have wall-to-wall ANC structures in all of the more than 4,000 wards that we have in our country. So we're increasing our footprint. So we're looking for someone in Chatsworth or wherever in all the different wards to say, you're going to be our local representative of the ANC and you represent the best aspiration and you're grounded in our communities there. So that's the objective. We're not doing this thing just because of the numbers. Yes, we want to maintain electoral power, but if we have more electoral power, we can do more for our communities. It's the small parties and the DA that's blocking a pro-poor, pro-developmental agenda. Yes, they can lament, but it's them that block the budget for NSFAS. It's them that block the budget for social pensions. So the ANC, if we can get our numbers increased, if we can have this broad church, and all South Africans can be part of this family, whether I'm a Muslim in Cape Town or whether I'm a Jew in wherever or whatever religion or difference that holds us together, we must have a patriotic South African identity. And so the ANC is very clear that is what we're striving for. Under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa, we're focusing really that we can get that rainbow nation right, but it mustn't be a rainbow nation based on the symbolism, only when the rugby comes on. But it must be about confronting the harsh realities of our past, even the past realities of the ANC and the mistakes that we have. There's been a strong message now on energy security that we're pushing. There's a strong message of dealing with corruption within our ranks. And so that commitment that we're bringing out, and we're inviting South Africans, we're extending a hand of friendship to other South Africans who might not. I have been in the ANC for 30 odd years. I only know the ANC because I was in the activism in the 80s. But younger generations have been benefiting from that. But we want them also to come in. We want them also to be part of this exciting journey under the president's leadership so that we can, as South Africans, really build a better life. So it's not just about numbers for us. It's the right thing, it's the moral thing to do, but we're also looking for ethical, capable leadership. So it's a recruitment drive to turn some of our supporters into members, but then members also become trained to be capable, civic-orientated leaders in our local areas.
Yes, Dr. Ndou, just very quickly, and just listen to what Vice Jacob is obviously saying. But again, when one looks at the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, serving a second term of office, and it's not that the ANC was not given an opportunity to do the right thing. I mean, what we are hearing here, introspection, inward looking at our shortcomings, what do we need to do, how do we reach out? These are considerations that the ANC has had years ago. And the bottom line is the ANC has not delivered. And particularly when one looks at under the President Cyril Ramaphosa presidency since 2017, very, very little has been achieved. And this, again, confidence in the ANC in its present form, right now coming through from minority groupings, where to a large extent even minority groupings have been excluded from the likes of the NEC. We've seen with the recent cabinet appointments as well, where we've seen very little in terms of looking or even considering incorporating some of the other groupings, Dr. Ndou.
Well, it is true that these are not new issues that are being raised with the ANC. And there are some criticisms that will be leveled against the ANC, like that the ANC has done nothing. In my view, the ANC has done a lot for South Africa. The ANC has changed the lives of many South Africans.
Yes, just quickly, which ANC? Dr. Ndou, can I just stop you there? Sorry. I know we all acknowledge the fact that the ANC have done, but which ANC, under which president, and in which era? I think one needs to understand that as well.
Well, I think we need to acknowledge that when the ANC came into power in 1994, they had a broader program to change the lives of ordinary citizens. And in the main, that broader program was in the Reconstruction and Development Program, which the ANC vigorously had to deal with. And it was not a short-term program. It was a long-term program, which part of it is still continuing even today. And that is why, if you look at the issues that relate to inequality in South Africa, it has its background on what has actually happened in the past during the apartheid era. What we need to acknowledge also is that there are so many challenges facing the ANC, inside the ANC, in government that is being led by the ANC, and in society in general. Those challenges are there. It is up to the ANC itself, having acknowledged these challenges, to say what will be the better approach in order to move forward. Another reality is that we still have a lot of people that still want to associate with the ANC, or who still associate with the ANC. If they are not happy with the ANC, they'll rather not go to vote. And that's why you see the better voter turnout being low. And those are the people that the ANC has to stretch its hand, go to them and recruit them. I think that is part of the program that the ANC is trying to embark on. But before they go to these people, the ANC has to do what I said earlier on. Inward looking, deal with the obvious issues that people are raising every day. And that is how you go to the people and say, this is what we have acknowledged, and this is the program that we have to embark on moving forward. If they don't do that, they will actually be giving this an opportunity to the oppositions to take over.
Well, we'd have to leave it at that. Time has been of the essence to both Faith Jacobs and Dr. Levin. We thank you. We do appreciate both of you taking time out and being part of this discussion this afternoon right here on Salam Media. All the best to both of you.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Alaikum salam. Yes, Dr. Levin Dow and Faith Jacobs, Member of Parliament, with us this morning against the ANC, now looking at other groupings to draw them into the ANC so that they can still look at the very least a two-thirds majority comes the next elections. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back.